Hello, it's Tanya and Amelia from Coffee Catchup's podcast, and you are listening to Coffee Catchup's Espresso on Cross Rhythms Radio. And Amelia, I've got a question for you.
Oh, okay. No pressure.
So
just going to start myself up.
I'm gonna ask you a personal question.
Oh, okay. Right.
Oh, I
go
know.
for it.
Going in. And it relates to how old you were, do you think, when you first thought about going on a diet?
Oh, that's a deep question. I think I was maybe about 8, potentially. Because, I don't know whether you have... whether you're listening to this or whether you're seeing a visual or whatever, or whether you've seen the podcast, but I am what might one describe as plus size, and I've always had quite a big issue with body image, and it's something that my family in general has sort of struggled with a little bit as well, and so I feel like I've always thought I was fat. Which is kind of nuts because I sometimes see pictures of myself. I did sort of ballet and tap for a little while when I was a kid.
I did not know that. Interesting.
Only up until about the age of 8, actually. And I look at pictures of myself and go, I really wasn't fat. Why did I think I was fat?
Yeah, this is the thing. I mean, I was having the same conversation with a friend. She was thinking, I wish I could go back to whatever year when she was thinner, and I was like, you were still saying then that you were fat.
Yeah, no, I had the same thing actually. I went to Latin America for a little while in my gap year, and as you do, because we're moving around a lot more, like we're eating more sort of at meal times and not eating so many snacks, and obviously eating a lot more kind of fruit and veg sometimes as well. I did lose weight, and I, again, like you say, I still thought I was fat. But now, because I've put the weight back on, I kind of look at how I was then and go, oh, I really wish I was that weight again, because, yeah, it's tough, isn't it?
Yeah, it's tough. And I think we beat ourselves up a lot. I mean, we grew up in the 90s, and that was very much an era of, skinny is beautiful, thin is beautiful. And we still have that today. But it's weird how diet and what's fashionable changes. Like when we were growing up, you weren't, it's gonna sound a bit rude, but you were supposed to be very, very small and small hips.
Yes.
And now big hips are in.
Yeah, they are.
But
true.
Small waist is still in. And it's like, no matter what the fad is, none of it's achievable for everyone.
No, so true.
And
so true.
We've got to be aware that people are making a lot of money from telling women and men that then bodies aren't good enough.
No, absolutely not. And we were saying earlier, weren't we, actually, there is pressure on the men to be muscly and bulky, or, if you are going to be kind of skinnier, to still have strong arms, or whatever you want. And I've got a couple of mates who really prioritise going to the gym because they need to be big and muscly. Which is good. Good for them if they want to do that. That's fine. But the pressure is big.
The pressure is big, and the reason I asked that question at the beginning is because sometimes we don't realise how much of our life this has impacted. How much of your time and your mental energy has gone into, I want to change my body. There's a brilliant interview with Emma Thompson. I love Emma Thompson.
She's great.
And she says this, and I probably misquote it, but she goes, oh yeah, tell you what I'm going to do with my passion and my life energy and every moment of my life. I tell you what I'm going to do. I'm going to just focus on making my body do the unachievable. I'm going to waste my time, my passion, my energy on something like that. And actually, when you say it like that, when you listen to her say it, you think, oh yeah, of course.
Yeah.
You've got such a point, but we've almost in Western society been brainwashed into, you're not good enough. Change your body. And as a woman, I don't know if you relate to this, it almost feels wrapped up in my identity. How beautiful am I?
Yeah.
How thin am I? I'm not good enough if I'm not thin.
Yeah, absolutely. And I think also as single people in our 20s, and it's really easy to feel the pressure of, am I pretty enough to attract a guy? And is he gonna like me? Is the man that I marry, is he still gonna be in love with me when my looks fade? And all of that, there's a huge amount of pressure, isn't there?
It's huge.
Amount of pressure.
We're going to talk about a little bit in the next section after this song about body positivity. Mm-hmm. Is it a good thing? Is it a bad thing? And how we can wade through some of this stuff that seems to be just there in our lives forever. But we're gonna listen to some music. So I think we've established, and I think most people listening would agree, that diet culture is just it's annoying. It's there all the time. There's always a pressure. But underneath a lot of what diet culture is saying are some facts about life that are important.
Yes, indeed.
Health is important.
Absolutely is.
So getting regular exercise, eating healthy, looking after your body, it matters.
It does.
Your body is a temple.
True. Cliche but true.
Cliche but true, absolutely. But actually, I think you see it particularly when I look at when I speak to people I know who are sort of older and their bodies obviously are more deteriorating.
Yeah.
But if they've looked after their body in their lifetime, you can really see the benefit.
Oh yeah, absolutely.
Yeah.
I know people in their, someone who's about to turn 80 and he goes out for a run every day. And I think he did a marathon recently and I'm like, how are you doing that? It's so amazing that he's done that every day. He's gone out for a run every day. He's kept that really strict routine. He's really looked after himself.
And health and fitness is so important and you can see the rewards from it and you feel better when you're healthier.
Yeah.
But I also thought that I would talk a little bit and ask you a few couple of questions about the body positivity movement.
Yes, indeed.
The body positivity movement is an attempt to be anti-diet fad culture. Is a recognition of, hang on, this culture where thinner is beautiful, one body, one size must be everyone. Everyone must look like this, and if you don't look like that, then you're not beautiful. And it came from that. And do you think it's been a really positive thing?
I think yes and no is the answer to that. One thing I really love is not that we're sponsored by Dove, but the Dove adverts. Other brands are available, but the Dove adverts are really great actually because they show women of all shapes and sizes and they go, "This is beautiful," and I love that. I think that's really really positive. But I think it can go too far. I think it can. I think if you are just speaking from personal experience, again I'm plus size, as one might say. And, people are like, oh, but just be happy in your body. And your body's beautiful. And that's very nice. That's very kind. But I know for myself that actually to be healthier, I do need to take some weight off. And actually it's not, to an extent, it's not helpful for me to be, oh yeah, my body's beautiful and I love it. And, I'm absolutely fine as I am. Because I know to be healthier, and I have had a conversation with a doctor about this as well. It's not, I'm not about to keel over or anything, but it is healthier for me to lose some weight.
Yeah.
And I think it can go a bit too far in the, oh no, but love yourself. And I think there is such a thing as a healthy weight. And what I mean when I say that is there is such a thing as a healthy weight for you. And you have to decide what that is, maybe with professional help as well. But, it varies from person to person. It might be actually if you're a size 16, 18, that's good for you. It might be if you're a size 8, that's good for you. But you do need to sort of say, actually, what is a healthy weight for me and where am I comfortable being?
Yeah.
I think it's really important. And to use my catchphrase that we talk about and joke about on the podcast all the time, there is a balance to be struck in all of this, in finding the right space for you.
Yeah. Yeah, and I think what you say about balance is really interesting because, the body positive movement came out of something good. It came out of a need to rebel against the you're not good enough. It came out of a need to go, hold on, there are lots of different bodies.
Yeah.
And people are not all the same. And let's celebrate different bodies. And I love seeing more adverts with a bit more diverse body sizes. But I do think sometimes it goes too far. Plus size models that are dangerously unhealthy shouldn't be glorified, and neither should very very thin anorexic unhealthy people. It's about just looking at what science says sometimes.
Yeah, absolutely.
And BMI isn't isn't accurate, you know, but looking at science, are you healthy? And what do you need to get? Because we can all grow in our health, and that often doesn't look like getting thinner.
No, that's so true. So true.
We're going to talk more about this after this next song. So when it comes to diet culture and the world of body positivity and things like that, what positive changes do you think we can make to how we view dieting?
Yeah, I think there is actually a function on social media platforms. Some social media platforms, I don't know about all of them. You can actually choose to turn off certain types of content. So if you're scrolling and you're seeing a lot of adverts for diet pills or trends or whatever, you can choose to say, I don't want to see this kind of content.
I love that.
Which is really helpful if you find it triggering. But also kind of on that train of thought as well, looking at what you are consuming in terms of media. You know, what am I listening to? What am I watching? What am I reading? And how is that affecting my mindset? On this kind of thing, I think is really, really important.
I love that. That's a fantastic point, because mindset is everything, and we can end up with just being negative. You can be too fat, too thin, too weak, too big, too small. You know, you're too much of something. And actually, a bit of trying to make it positive is very good. Of going, what can I control here? I can't control how many other people talk about dieting. I can't control society, but I can go, well, what do I enjoy that's healthy? Rather than making yourself go on a miserable diet where you are not experiencing any nice food and you're eating things that you don't want to eat, and you obsessively go to the gym and you're not enjoying it. Well, what can you do that you enjoy? I've spoke before in the past about how much I love walking and hiking. It's good exercise, it's healthy, and I love it. I'm going to do that over running on the treadmill because I don't like running on the treadmill. But I'll do it because I enjoy it. Finding, healthy foods that you enjoy and eating those.
Yeah.
Things that you enjoy, so that it's not just, I'm punishing myself. I'm not good enough. I'm not good enough. And, going gentle with yourself. We had an episode on sort of a similar subject in the podcast in season 1.
Yeah.
And we had a good friend of mine who struggled more on the anorexia side in the past. And she said what was really helpful for her was body neutrality and food neutrality, basically. Going, this is my body. This is just it.
Yeah.
And stop making a judgment on it. If we can try to change how we make judgment on it. And then food neutrality, talking about food is energy.
Yes, absolutely.
Rather than going, this is a good food and this is a bad food. Just going, this is a food that has energy.
Yes.
Can help to, on both sides of the struggle.
Yeah, totally.
I thought that was interesting.
Yeah, absolutely. And I think on the food side, as someone who has struggled with food a lot in the past, I think finding foods that you enjoy and then kind of assessing like, okay, do I need to enjoy this more in moderation? And it's not restricting yourself, it's not taking that away, but going, okay, actually, I like pizza, really enjoy pizza. Okay, instead of eating a whole one to myself at lunchtime, maybe I'll eat half one and then I can save the other half for tomorrow. Or, find a new recipe. If you're able to do that, kind of look through your recipe books or look online, find healthy recipes with good stuff in it that you enjoy. But I also, what you were saying about getting outside as well, we're really, really blessed to live in Plymouth where there are so many places that we can walk for free. Saltram has a free walk. That's really, really lovely, that walk. You can go to, we've got loads of woodlands around. You've got Canwoods, Plimbridge Woods, Ham Woods. You've got the seafront. The seafront is so beautiful. You've got Dartmoor, as Tanya was saying, she loves to hike on Dartmoor, and so many great places. But what I really want to say, just to finish this, we are running out of time, but what I really want to say is, no matter what your size, it is so important to remember that you have value. It's so easy to put our to base our identity, again, particularly as women, I don't know, I can't speak to the experience of men, but it's so easy to base our identity on our size because we are being fed all of this diet culture kind of stuff. We're constantly being told we need to lose weight or build muscle or, you know, do this, do that. But actually, whatever your weight, whatever your health status is, you have value, you are loved. And it sounds like a real cliche, but it's what's on the inside that really does count. Because actually your friends don't choose to be your friends, or they shouldn't be choosing to be your friends based on your size. It's because of who you are as a person. Focus on that. That is the most important thing.
That's absolutely brilliant. I love that. What a positive message. Fantastic. We're going to end things there for this week. This has been Coffee Catchup Espresso on Cross Rhythms Radio. See you next week.